Hey there, friend. It's Stephanie Crevens with the Problem Solver School, where I share tips and encouragement so you can fix your hot messes. Are you here today because you might be trying to drive a change initiative in your organization? You might be trying to bring some more innovation or a customer experience initiative to your company. If so, you're in the right place because I want to tell you the characteristics that could be your secret sauce to actually making change happen in your organization. And here's where I want to start. I want to start with describing for you what it takes to be a pro troublemaker versus what it takes to be a troublemaker or devil's advocate in your organization. So just for context setting, I use the terms changemaker, difference maker, pro troublemaker interchangeably. Here's what a pro troublemaker is not. A pro troublemaker is the devil's advocate in your organization. It is the person, when they walk into the meeting, you feel the energy go, because it's like, oh, negative Nellies here again. They're going to tell us why all of our ideas won't work, why they can't be met by a deadline, why nobody can be accountable, why we don't have enough resources. A troublemaker is the person who nitpicks everybody's ideas. Someone presents and the first thing they say is, well, it won't work because, and then fill in the blank with whatever standard excuse they have that day. They're tearing the team apart. They lack self-awareness. There's good intention there. Don't get me wrong. Troublemakers who are trying to be devil's advocates, they're actually trying to be helpful, but their presentation is not helpful. So they need help reshaping how they show up. But they're tearing the team apart. They lack self-awareness. They're probably hindering results because they're stalling the progress of meetings. Thus, they're stalling the progress of what can be done in between meetings. Here's what a pro troublemaker is. A pro troublemaker is optimistic, mission focused. They want to work to change the rules because by changing the rules, you'll be able to get new results. There are friends who want to keep us connected to the values and the vision of the organization. When they walk into the room or invited to a meeting, you're like, yes, I'm so glad she's going to be here because I love hearing her insights into our project and what can make it better. Pro troublemakers know how to use their positional and influential power to align the work, to say no and set boundaries for themselves and for others, and they know what makes their team unique, what makes their company unique, and what makes them unique so that they can lend the unique gifts of each of those elements to the world, to the product, to the process, to your clients. That's what a pro troublemaker does. They're focused on the possibilities. They say yes and, or it's possible because, or when people get frustrated because you're in the messy middle of a project, they're the ones that say, guys, let's keep going. We can make this happen. They're that boost of caffeine and coffee that every team needs because they know that while the future might seem a little unclear right now, we can figure it out. The team can figure it out together. Pro troublemakers can do big work and small work. And I believe wholeheartedly in the work of the pro troublemaker on a daily basis. I one time had a client who was working in an organization and she'd been handed the HR function of the organization with very little background in it. And combine that with an executive team that seemed to flip-flop on their decisions every single week. So it was just chaos. And so her way of being a pro troublemaker was by creating order to that chaos, by holding them accountable to the decisions that they made so that she could move forward on her work, but then also creating plans and processes and goals for her own work so that she could measure her progress, so she could communicate effectively, and that so she could connect with her colleagues in an impactful way because her HR function was so critical at that stage of the organization. Being a pro troublemaker can also happen in big, long-term ways. And only you know the way that you're supposed to be a pro troublemaker. But another great example of this, and this story just brings me to tears every time I share it. Back in the 80s, there was a gentleman of color. He was the only manager of color at this very large bank. And over the course of 3 decades, he hired more diverse people, more people of color, more women, and brought their ideas and their ingenuity into his organization so that over the course of 3 decades, he could look back on his career and say that he hired 3,500 diverse, beautiful souls for his organization because he had the tenacity, he had the presence, he had the optimism to not only bring in a more diverse group of people, but then also to support them and coach them and help them to stay and do the same so that they can have a similar legacy within the organization. That's amazing. And that's what pro troublemakers do, is we stick with things because we know that changing up systems, changing products, changing up teams, changing organization takes time. And we have to do this work with other people. This is what makes all of this possible. None of us do this work alone. So I want to invite you to consider the ways that you need to be a pro troublemaker within your organization, your nonprofit, your team, your business, whatever is the best context for you. And if this resonates with you, I invite you to share this with a friend who maybe is being a troublemaker and needs some more characteristics of the pro troublemaker to be more influential in her organization. And I'd love to hear in the comments, share a great story about how you've been a pro troublemaker so that it can help others so we can learn from your experience. All right, my friends, that's what I have to share today about being a pro troublemaker. Now it's your turn to get off the internet and go get the real work done, and I'll see you soon.